maintain it.
Hey, you guys could, if you guys want, you could super chat your message on what you want in the building. just nothing too glowing.
So what you just saw was a number of videos showing anti-Semitic messages and hate symbols being projected onto buildings in Florida in recent days. The sorts of anti-Semitic symbols that you would expect from neo-Nazi groups or whatever. I don't know exactly what they identify as, and I don't truly care. You see this and you know what they are. There's messages about Jewish people being responsible for 9/11 and wrecking the United States. And if we go to Disease Detective's tweet, you can see a massive swastika. But everyone be very careful about what you label these people as. You wouldn't want to offend the people broadcasting swastikas on the side of buildings. Anyway, these incidents appear to have begun on Saturday. They've been linked to the groups National Socialism Florida and the Goyim Defense League by anti-Semitism watchdogs. One group warned of plans to broaden their efforts to terrorize Floridian residents. So they want to do the terrorizing. They also want to make a little bit of money, which is why they were appealing to anti-Semites on YouTube to give them money through super chats to then broadcast messages of hate to harass entire communities. The entire thing is sick. Thankfully, there are people, including with the ADL, that have been raising the profile of this. People are considering laws that would potentially stop this because for whatever reason, as of right now in Florida, it doesn't seem to be running afoul of any legal protections or regulations. So we're gonna get to that in a bit, but Bridget, what do you make of this?
You mean use the word sick? I completely agree. And I also just want to point out it's very dangerous. Like anti-Semitism, normalizing it. The fact that they're laughing about this in these videos, it's very, very dangerous. It's not a joke, it's serious. And I think it's also important to note that you're exactly right. They're not just doing this, they're not just, amplifying hate in this way. They're of course trying to make a little bit of money because it's also a grift. And so not only are they stoking this anti-Semitism that we know is so dangerous, they're trying to use it to personally enrich themselves. And so I think it's really important to point out the ways that extremists like this are so often grifting people. It's a scam to personally enrich themselves off of amplifying very dangerous hate.
Yeah, 100%. There are people in the chat right now I noticed who are saying like future GOP congressmen, and like it's intended to be a joke or whatever. But like, so what if they got elected and then it came out? Kevin McCarthy called for him to step down. I mean, Marjorie Greene is going and hanging out with Nick Fuentes and stuff like that. Like she had videos, her ranting about things like Jewish space lasers and stuff. She didn't have to step down. Why would they? Oh, because there was a swastika? Like you think there's a line of anti-Semitism that they could cross, that there would be consequences? I kind of doubt it. Anyway, none of the buildings are apparently aware of this or consented to it. I find that fairly easy to believe. City council members in Jacksonville are working on a law allowing for tougher penalties for projecting images on building after these incidents. And look, here is where it gets a little bit sticky because obviously you should not be putting swastikas on other buildings. In my view, I don't see why you would need a specific law about projecting images. It is an act of intimidation and harassment. The form of the speech is light, but if they were to just have a bullhorn and just yell Heil Hitler for 8 hours straight, that should probably run afoul of something. My worry is that if they make it about specifically projecting things onto walls, then that's not about anti-Semitism. What about the people who are projecting, again, it's a different state, but on the Twitter headquarters about how Elon Musk was terrible or whatever? Like that is harassment too. I don't think it's about being a part of a protected class, but oops, now projecting on the side of a building is illegal. So that's why I feel like they're going about this in the, I'm not gonna say the wrong way because maybe that's what they're actually hoping to get with this, is to kill two birds with one stone, but this isn't the direction that I would go in.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think that's a really astute point. For full disclosure, I have been part of many a tactic that involved projecting things onto walls, like progressive messages. And I think cracking down on projections is cracking down on a kind of tried and true activist tactic. I think that the thing, and I think it could intentionally obscure, like, okay, well then nobody who's doing this for any cause is able to do it. We really got to make this about the hate and the anti-Semitism. That is what's inappropriate. Yeah. It's not just the tactic of using light projections. People project all kinds of messages of hope and love and progressivism using projections all the time. We really got to make sure that the conversation centers the anti-Semitism and the hate.
Yeah, 100%. And maybe Florida, like, get your stuff together. Like, they're like constantly focused on like Disney put a gay kiss in an animated movie. You've got Nazis running around projecting. They're fully in public. They weren't just filming that, by the way. They were live streaming it. They feel so comfortable in Florida doing their Nazi stuff that they're broadcasting it live and putting it up on a building. Those people would not be hard to find. I feel like maybe focus a little bit on that, because that might pose a little bit more of an ongoing threat to children than a drag queen 3,000 miles away. But what do I know? I don't work for Ron DeSantis. For more political news breakdowns, interviews, stories of activism, and me trying my hardest to care about the occasional big celebrity news story, subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/The Damage Report. And you can ring the bell wherever it is so you don't miss anything.